Solid.
I have already put an X across my theory about your left hand.
Okay.
Don't go back to that.
No.
But let's think about just lift your chest up a little higher.
Okay, get the club more square.
So because I am seeing that toe way up in the air.
You are, okay.
I would like you to just kind of get your hands higher by lifting your chest a little. So you're gonna stand taller.
Yeah.
That's we're gonna experiment with that just a little few seconds. We may be talking 1 or 2 degrees will help you, not 10.
Yeah, that one felt a lot better.
Yeah, so sometimes I think you want to kind of just take the slack out of your body.
Okay.
Sometimes you sag a little too much. Just take the slack out. You can still be dynamic, but just take the slack out.
I'm first going to look at you in the impact position because it's the most important. Everything the ball does, how far it goes, how high it goes, how much it spins and curves, is a direct response to the laws of physics and motion at the brief moment of impact. On the left is Tiger hitting an iron. This is video I took at last year's US Open. On the right is Grant Waite hitting the driver. Grant was a PGA Tour player during the 90s and now is one of the top instructors of tour players. Grant's teaching partner is a good friend of mine, Joe Mayo, who lives in Las Vegas. Grant was considered by many as having one of the best and most fundamentally sound golf swings. At impact, they both have the majority of their weight on the left side. In fact, the average pro will have 85 to 90% of their weight on the left side at impact. I've drawn a red block from the center of their ankles to the top of their head, and you can see that the red line off their left foot is passing right through their belt buckle, showing how the center of their mass is right on top of their left foot. They both have extended arms through impact. Their elbows are close together and not separating. Having extended arms and weight forward allows them to control the low point of their arc of their swing. When hitting the iron, this fundamental allows the placement of the low point to be in front of the ball, so that they hit the ball first and then the ground, producing the maximum compression of the golf ball. These fundamentals also allows for the highest level of consistency in controlling the face angle and club path during impact, so that you in turn have the highest level of consistency in hitting whatever optimal ball flight you want. The purpose of swing analysis is not to change the look of your swing just to make it more pleasing to the eye. The sole purpose is to change the negative ball flight that is impacting your score. Once a ball flight error begins to occur too frequently, you then must identify the part of the player's swing causing the club to be delivered to the ball in the wrong position. Larry, your performance on the course showed a solid full swing game. You hit 50% of the fairways and 55% of the greens. And the greens hit would have even been higher had we included the par 5s. But because most of the approach shots were from less than 150 yards and always from the fairway, this percent probably would have been lower in a regular round of golf. As far as your driving, you don't need to hit your best drive better, just more often. And improving consistency is all you need to do with your approach shot game. So as I look at your swing, I'm only looking for those things that will improve your consistency. I could look at any player's swing and run through an inventory of all the missing fundamentals in their swing, but that is a totally meaningless exercise. The key to game improvement is to only focus on the 1 or 2 things that are the easiest to change that can give you the quickest results. As I look at your impact position, I see a good distribution of your weight between the feet. You want to have the majority of your weight on your left side, and you do. And that allows you to keep the low point in front of the golf ball. The only visual thing that I see that has an association with inconsistency is the lack of extension in your left arm and the cupping of the back of the left wrist. Let's watch your left arm as it continues through impact and into the finish. At this point, you can see the left elbow separating from the side and the back of the wrist cupping. Tiger's left hand is below his right and yours is above the right. This is an indication that you're not correctly rehinging your wrist after impact. This is not a difficult move for you to learn once I show you the correct drills. And once you learn this move, you will be able to hit with the same power, if not more, but with less effort. Here's Grant Wade and Hunter Mahan with the wrist crossed and the left hand under the right hand. Here's Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose. Every player on tour, without exception, will be in this 9th position with when the right arm is parallel to the ground. Their wrist will be crossed and the left hand will be under the right hand. In conclusion, in this full swing report, I am identifying what one thing you could work on with your full swing that will improve your ball striking. To me, it is adding the correct rehinge. But the truth is, the highest priority for your practice is to work on your putting and short game more. If you have limited time for practice, I strongly recommend for you to leave your full swing alone. You have built a very functional swing, and the best way for you to shoot consistently in the 70s is for your short game to improve.